Hello and welcome to Super Rugby Round 4 predictions brought to you by DrivingMaul. Hi, I'm Paul, the guy behind DrivingMaul, a podcast, a YouTube channel, a Twitter account and a webpage bringing you all the best in rugby predictions and opinion. And yes, we're into the fourth round of Super Rugby, still early days, but teams really need to start getting into their groove. Otherwise they're going to find they've got too much catch up to do come finals time. And kicking us off, we have the Highlanders versus the Stormers. Now the Stormers are on a run of two losses, having lost the Lions and the Crusaders, the two finalists last season. So no sort of shame in doing that. They've also picked up a bunch of injuries along the way, whereas the Highlanders have got all their key players, Aaron Smith, Sopawanga, Naholo, Ben Smith, all fit and firing. So you've got to say this has home win written all over it. The Stormers on the second stage of their tour, whereas the Highlanders have had a week off. So back in the Highlanders here by 14. I'll be doing live post-match reaction from this game, and Jess, who you will have seen on #Rugby Chat podcast or YouTube show, you'll have heard her on the podcast, you'll have seen her on the show, is going to be at this game, so hopefully we will have her on the live post-match reaction from the ground itself, and we'll get some picks from inside and a feel of the atmosphere, which will be good. Next up, we have the Rebels. We head over to Australia for Rebels versus Brumbies. This is the real test. The Rebels, they've beaten the Reds, they've beaten the Sunwolves. They look like the form team in Australia, taking on the Brumbies, who a lot of us had as being the team to top the conference. Now the Brumbies haven't looked particularly great against the Sunwolves, and obviously lost the Reds last weekend. So this is a good opportunity for the Rebels to sort of start stamping themselves down as being the team in Australia. I'm expecting the Rebels to win this one by about 7. Next, we come back to New Zealand for the Canes versus the Crusaders. So the Canes come back off their tour with that one loss to the Bulls and a win over the Jaguares, and come home. The Crusaders have had 2 wins at home, so don't really have to travel very far. Still, with if I've gone blank, Mwanga, sorry, is injured at 10 and Hunt has to come in, I think that's going to be a big blow for the Crusaders. Hunt has done well, but he's not starting, or has not proved himself as a starting Super Rugby fly half. And I think the Canes showed a lot of defensive nous against the Jaguares. It's just a matter of getting their attack to click. So I'm going to back the Hurricanes at home to win that one by 3. I will also be doing a live post-match reaction from this game as well, so do join me for that on YouTube as well. Next up, we head back over to Australia again for the Reds versus the Bulls. Bulls obviously won their opening game against Hurricanes and lost against the Lions, but definitely looking a lot better under Mitchell. The Reds obviously got those 2 players sent off against the Rebels, so there wasn't really much you can take out of that. They beat the Brumbies last week, but it was all with kicks, didn't score 1 try. I'm going to have to go with the home side here by 5 because the Bulls historically do not travel well. They're one of the worst South African teams for travelling. So I'm going to back the Reds by 5, but I think it could be a kicking game with not many tries in it. Heading into Sunday, well, Sunday for us in New Zealand anyway, the middle of the night, the Sharks host the Sunwolves. Sunwolves coming off the back of 2 home losses, a whole bunch of injuries. Obviously that clearly didn't help them in the last game. Sharks not had a great start to the season, lost the Lions, drew with the Tars, but this should be their first win on the board, and I'm going to back them to win by 7. A lot of them people thought the Sharks were going to be the team to challenge the Lions in South Africa. It may be not looking so much that way. So the Lions, 3 wins from 3 games, all going swimmingly for them so far. Host the Blues, who are 2 losses from 2. Not a great start to the season. Performances have been better, but they just don't seem to lack that leadership. And when you're on the road, that's kind of one of the key things. So I can't see the Lions slipping up here. Expect the Lions to go 4-0, and I'm backing them to win by 10. And then finally, we have the Jaguares hosting the Waratahs. Again, I'll be doing a live post-match reaction to this one with Hugh, who is a Waratahs fan from Australia. So join us for post-match reaction to this game. Jaguares 3-0, losing at home last weekend to the Hurricanes. Never really looked in it, to be fair, after the 2 losses on the road. Waratahs won a very narrow one over the Stormers at home, and then got themselves a late score again against the Sharks to draw last weekend. Clearly, these guys have got some fight about them. Perhaps not playing at their best, And if they are missing Curtly Beale to injury, then that's going to be a massive loss for them. Still, I'm going to back the Waratahs by 5 in this one. I do think the Waratahs do need Beale, though. They need their key players. They need Hooper. They need Foley. They need Beale. They need Folau to be really. They're a team about their stars rather than necessarily about the sum of their parts. So Beale, if Beale is missing, it will be a massive loss. Anyway, that's how I see the weekend going. Please let me know your thoughts down below. Always up for a good old rugby chat. If you're watching this on YouTube, or also you can get in touch with me on Twitter at DrivingMaul. Always, I say, up for a good old rugby chat. If you're watching, then please, there will be a face there which you can click on to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and there'll be a box there with my latest videos. Please do watch that as well, and enjoy whatever rugby you're watching this weekend.